Okay, welcome back everyone, and as I promised, the update to the PACE RC30 Generation 1 rebuild continues. As you know from the last video, if you joined me, I was fitting these to a 1990 Orange Prestige, which obviously has a 1-inch steerer tube, and the crown and the forks I have are 1¼ inch, actually, which you can tell visibly by the bulge that you get there on the face of the crown. So what I was waiting for is this part, which is still supplied by PACE Cycles and Adrian Carter and the team up in North Yorkshire. This is a shim which sits inside of the crown here and turns this crown in from a 1¼ crown into a 1-inch crown, which is a beautifully machined piece of kit. What I also needed to do was find a 1-inch steerer. While on the phone to Adrian, I mentioned this and he said, well, I do have a 1-inch steerer. Unfortunately, I think I needed one of a total length of like 173mm. This was about 220, and you may think, well, that's okay, you just shorten it to size. But unfortunately a little less simple than that is these have this groove for a retaining spring in them, so I couldn't just cut from the bottom, and if I was to cut from the top, I would have it was such a big difference in length that I would have lost all the thread. So the options were to either retain the bottom and rethread the top, or cut off the bottom and mill a new groove into that. Now I don't have a lathe, I'm no engineer, so while cutting it I could have maybe tried with some kind of blunt hacksaw that I've probably got in the workshop. I found a local engineering company, and within a couple of days they turned this around for 40 quid, and this has been CNC machined, so that's ready for the retaining bolt. And we now have the opportunity to get all this, put it back together, and finish the project that I started. This is obviously the crown race from the old forks, which I removed with a crown race remover, which I had to go and buy actually, but no harm having one of those in your workshop, that's for sure. So yeah, so now I've just got to fit it all together. This will fit through here, and you can see the retaining the crown. Always trying to do things with one hand, just by a tripod. This crown race obviously sits on the top of there. The steerer will then come through here, and can I do that? I probably can't do that. I don't have the skills to do that. No, I'm not even going to try it. So anyway, come back and give you an update once I've fitted it all in and probably put it on the bike. Okay, join us back at DB's Retro MTB workshop at the point of assembly. Now, I've already kind of done some of it. Difficult video, mainly because I'm hammering things in, but essentially it's an inch. So just to remind everyone, we've got an 1¼ PACE Generation 1 RC30 crown. We have the 1¼ inch shim to take it down to a 1-inch steerer, because obviously this is going on the Prestige, the 1990 Prestige. And so we're at the point now where we're essentially just getting it ready. As you can see, so the shim is in underneath, the crown race has been forced on top of that. It's all secure, all bolted up. Straighten the legs. Actually, one way of setting the legs is to put them inside a hub, tighten up the quick release wheel skewer. That ensures that the legs are exactly straight as they want to be. And then you've got to use your eye actually to then look down the crown and make sure that everything's at right angles to one another, and then nip up the bolts, and then we're kind of done. So we're at this point, and what I'm doing essentially here, actually this headset, this 1990 DX headset has loose bearings, they're not in a cage. So what I'm doing is just putting a very thin, I'll try and do this one hand. So I'm putting a thin layer of grease all the way around the race, mainly because the way I find I need to do it is then I need to take the rubber washer. So the first thing is that the grease allows the washes just to stick a little bit in place. Just make sure that feels right. And then what we can do to make sure that's all going to work is we can then, with the grease already there, these things are tricky. I lost two or three of them when I was taking it out. Not used to. I wasn't expecting them not to be caged, but there are 17 bearings, and what I'm going to do is essentially place all of them in, and now they've got a little bit of stickiness with the grease, and then also, obviously, what I'll do is I'll grease the inside of the cup that they're going to go into. So as soon as it goes in, the two of them kind of stick together. I have to be very careful from transitioning it here on the floor into the headset to make sure that none of these fall out. But with that little just layer of grease, it should be enough just to keep them sticky. So I won't make you watch me do all this. Join me in a minute when we're getting it inside the frame. Okay, and here they are, married to the bike in all their glory. All the new decals already fitted, new brake setup, new brake blocks, and also this apparatus, this thing that was here, I've removed, mainly because it got in the way of that beautifully reconditioned crown and decal, the original PACE Gen 1 RC30. They came from eBay, as you may remember, in a bit of a state, but they weren't too bad. It was all cosmetic. I've converted them from a 1 1/4 inch, as you can see from this bulge. It's a 1 1/4 inch crown. Now with a shim from PACE and Adrian and the guys there, and a new steerer, and now it's married to the bike, and it looks quite the thing. North Yorkshire's finest, PACE and Orange all together. There's been quite a few other updates on the bike since it was last featured on the channel, actually. I was in a bit of a rush to get these things made. I get so excited. But the original seat post is gone. I managed to find this USE titanium version in fantastic condition, quite local as well, so that was a good addition. Something actually I did at the time, back in the day. USE was a brand, hard to find them now, obviously with some shim action to make sure that it fit, as they all did. What else has happened? Oh, I managed to find one of these Prestige original decal, not a reproduction. So you can tell by the sort of silver fleck in the outer edge of it. What else since? Oh, I fitted a 1.9 smoke on the rear smoke light, just because that clearance was just, it was not acceptable. You can see the clearance down there. 1.9 much better. Get the 2.4 at the front, a bit more absorption, particularly with that stiffer fork. And yeah, it really does look the part now. Very happy with how that's resolved. Hopefully you like it too. And it's looking in fine fettle, and I do intend to go out and ride it. I know I've not said so yet so far, but today is Christmas Eve, for those of you who celebrate Christmas or the holiday season, and I know people from overseas watch the channel, so happy Christmas, happy holidays. Hope you get out riding. I'm certainly going to go out and give this a go, now that now we can see that the rain has stopped. But yeah, everything all good with the world. Super happy with this. Hope you liked it. There'll be more videos along shortly, so if you like it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notifications button. But hopefully these PACE RC30s live to ride many more miles. Alright, see you soon.